video is going to be brief, all right? Because there isn't really a lot to talk about, all right? But something came up today during the housemates diary session. Some housemates had the diary sessions. I think there were about 4 of them. But just one person's diary session stood out for me. Yeah. Isabella's diary session. Isabella came into the diary room with a truckload of entitlement towards her friend, Sultana. So, turns out that ever since Monday evening, after the live nomination process, Isabella has been holding a grudge against Sultana. She's not really been friendly with Sultana anymore. In other words, she's sort of like gradually cut off her friendship with Sultana. And guys, I found it quite interesting because prior to that the final live nominations show that happened on Monday, if you had seen the way Isabella had been so excited for Sultana winning the head of house, or rather the head of house challenger, guys, you would wonder, like, oh wow, was she the one that actually won it? It seemed so genuine. She was really happy. She was genuinely excited. Now, she had claimed that she was happy for Sultana because, oh, her friend deserved to be a finalist, by virtue of winning the head of house challenger title that Monday, But looking at the whole situation now, it now makes more sense why she was overjoyed on that day. It makes more sense now because now it turns out that she was actually excited because she hoped and expected that when the time comes for Sultana to utilize her powers as head of house, to save someone, that person was going to be her. Which, once again, was quite interesting. Because, ladies and gentlemen, how would you judge the matter? Because when you think about it, there is Sultana, there is Isabella, there is Jason J. At least when we talk about the people that Sultana has a rapport with in the house, these are the people that she has a rapport with in the house. But we can say that, okay, ultimately, her best friend in the house at the moment is Isabella, and then her lover is Jason J. So, automatically, you can see that Sultana would definitely be in a dilemma when it came for her to choose who to grant that save, who she would take to the finals. It was very obvious instantly that there was going to be a dilemma for her. So we all applauded Sultana for her brave decision of deciding to play fair and not grant the immunity to anybody, but to allow all the other housemates to fight for that stage, to fight for a spot in the finale. We all applauded Sultana, but Isabella is not impressed. Isabella is not happy. According to her, she feels betrayed. She was overjoyed with their friendship before, but after Sultana's decision that Monday, it has made her question the credibility of that friendship. For her now, the friendship is not real. It's not genuine. And she had told Big Brother that she does not think she will forgive Sultana for what Sultana did. And I'm thinking, oof, that's a lot of entitlement right there, don't you think? I mean, guys, don't you think so? Don't you think so? I would love to hear your thoughts about this in the comment section because, of course, I will go ahead and analyze, but I want to hear from all of you. Do you think that is too much entitlement coming from Isabella towards Sultana? What are your thoughts? So, I listened to Isabella, I mean, obviously, she was really pained. The way she was telling her story to Big Brother, it was very obvious that this girl was very, very pained. For even the fact that she mentioned that she was never going to forgive Sultana. That was really deep. And I took a step back. I surveyed the friendship between these two people. And ladies and gentlemen, the conclusion I jumped into was, okay, fine, fair enough, fair enough. Isabella has every right to be upset, right? She has every right to be upset. Also looking at the fact that she's been Sultana's biggest cheerleader in the house ever since Sultana's besties got evicted weeks ago, right? I mean, when you're in a friendship situation, in a way, to some extent, you feel some sense of entitlement towards how things happen in your friendship relationship with the person that you're friends with, right? But regardless of that, ladies and gentlemen, if you think about it from a neutral ground, the first question you would ask yourself is, were these two ever really friends? Were they ever really friends? Was their friendship really genuine? What was their relationship built on? What was their friendship built on? On what principles was their friendship built on? What brought them together as friends? Ladies and gentlemen, to answer all of those questions, the very obvious answer is that they were never friends. Gossip brought them together. Malice and malicious intents brought them together. Conspiracies, conniving, brought them together as friends. It was a company of miserable people. It was a company of vindictive and malicious people. So that company is what brought them together. And so they found comfort, being together, gossiping together. And that company lasted for too long. It lasted for way longer than it should have. And so because it lasted for this long, automatically in their brains, they thought they have a friendship. Because also don't forget that of the two friends, the most malicious of them is Sultana. Very malicious, very vindictive. I mean, from the very get-go, Sultana never really liked Isabella. At every given opportunity, she would slut shame Isabella, body shame Isabella, describe Isabella with the most reckless and derogatory words and language, was always mean to Isabella, never really had anything good to say about Isabella. And for whatever reason, would always embark on a smear campaign against Isabella. Was the one that started the rumors that Isabella had mouth odor, that Isabella had body odor, that Isabella's personal hygiene is very terrible, that the money she would have used to take care of her personal hygiene, that she used it to go and do bum fillers, lip fillers, hip fillers, this fillers, constantly dragging this girl down. All from Sultana. So the way they both gravitated towards each other, ladies and gentlemen, obviously because they had mutual enemies in the house. And so they came together, they formed an alliance to conquer their enemies. And I also blame Isabella too, because despite knowing fully well the vile things that Sultana had said about her, they never really did sit down to address all of those things. No, instead, she pretended like she was deaf, like she was oblivious to all of those things, and just forged ahead with the friendship, and instead was being guys, nah. I'm sorry to say, but their friendship was quite disgusting. But the fact is, there was no real friendship there. There was no real friendship there. It doesn't matter if they had a kafina task and Sultana said nice things about Isabella, and Isabella too said nice things about Sultana. They were never really friends. They hated each other. They still hate each other. They still do. So, I wasn't really surprised when Sultana did not grant Isabella the save. Because there's also Jason J. Now, I also had the feeling that she wasn't going to give it to Jason J. Because remember, it was just Sunday, the previous day, that Ebuka had called out that one based on his infidelity issues. And even though Sultana was laughing, we know that Sultana will smile, but then the things in her heart, very, very lethal, very, very deadly. She will do what she wants to do, but she will still smile, that she doesn't know what she's doing. So, I've answered those questions, ladies and gentlemen. Those two were never friends. They will never really be real friends until they address all of those vile things that Sultana has had to say about Isabella. If Sultana does not explain herself and explain her reasons, her intentions to Isabella, they will never ever be friends. They will never ever have a real friendship. They will continue to be fake to each other until something terrible happens. I mean, an example is this now. And, Big Brother had gone ahead to ask Isabella a question. He had said, okay, if Kaikumi was still in the house and you were the one that had the power to take one of your friends to the finale, who would you have chosen? Isabella had said, oh, definitely Sultana, because Kaikumi had been messing around. And then there's also Jason J that Ebuka had just called out during the live eviction show. So she has already told Sultana that these guys, they always mess around. They are not to be trusted. They are not straightforward. And they do not deserve that kind of commitment. So she would have definitely chosen her friend, taking her friend to the finale instead of these guys. But then she also understands that Sultana is also trying to protect herself by not speaking either her or Jason J, because she doesn't want anybody to come and hold her accountable, another day to come and question her, oh, why did you pick this person over me? So she was just really pained, because for her, the fact that Sultana would even compare her and Jason J, it's even what is even really annoying her, because Jason J has not really been faithful or honest to her. And guys, I'm going to be frank with all of you. She made a valid point. In fact, a very, very solid point. But still, it all boils down to the depth of their friendship. There's no depth to their friendship. Their friendship is not real. Their friendship is still a facade. And all those things they talked about, oh, when we go outside, we'll do XYZ. It's not going to hold water outside. Even if they go outside of the house and they decide, okay, fine, let's bury the hatchet, things will still come up, because Isabella will definitely see videos where Sultana had slandered her maliciously, and she's going to lose her shit. She's going to lose her mind. So, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know. I told you all that this video was going to be a brief one. So I would love to hear from all of you. What are your thoughts about Isabella's point of view? Do you think she has a right to be upset? Do you think she's just being plain entitled? What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comment section below. I'll see you guys on another video. Thanks for watching. Have an amazing, amazing evening. Bye.